Welcome to Total Retail Talks, your podcast channel for retail knowledge.
Hello, and welcome to episode 42 of Total Retail Talks. I'm Joe Keenan, Executive Editor of Total Retail. Today I'm joined by Peter Gold, Chief Digital Marketing Officer of Shop.com, an online marketplace that sells over 40 million products across virtually all product categories. Shop.com services over 200 markets. We're going to be discussing how the growth of e-commerce and online marketplaces in particular are impacting shopping malls and brick-and-mortar retail. Thanks for joining me, Peter.
My pleasure, Joe. Great to be here.
So my first question is, can you talk a little bit about why you believe consumers are transitioning away from shopping in malls and retail stores and moving more and more towards digital, being both e-commerce from desktop and also growth in shopping through mobile?
Sure. I think a lot of it, Joe, is cultural. I think that, generations that grew up in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and even 90s, part of the culture was to go to the mall, was to go out shopping, et cetera. And since the advent of e-commerce, number of major things. First and foremost, I think initially, e-commerce has been out there for 20 years. But I think there was a lot of concern about security, safety, et cetera. Can I use my credit card online? Is my information safe, et cetera? We've gotten over all those hurdles now, and I think we could say for the last 10 years, certainly, e-commerce has seen tremendous growth. It's easy. It's convenient. It's 24/7, 365. You can place orders in your pajamas from your bed, on your tablet, on your cell phone. It's more secure than in the past. Overall, it's probably a better shopping experience in the sense that it's on your terms. It's anonymous, confidential, private. It's at your own speed and at your own leisure. Items are delivered to your door. You get a full selection and variety of products. You're not limited to the quantity or the items that are in that store's inventory that you happen to be in. You can use price shopping and price comparison engines to literally find the best price on the internet or to find the best price from sellers that you like dealing with. You may get no sales tax. You may get free shipping and delivery or a favorable rate for that. And there's an immediacy factor. Friend tells you about a product over dinner. You find it on your phone over dinner and buy it within seconds and you're done. So I think that speaks to not so much why malls or specifically why malls are less popular, certainly why e-commerce has seen tremendous growth over the last 10 years and continues to grow with a bullet, as we say, in the sense that it's growing tremendously. I think the byproduct of that has been the mall effect, which is why do you need to go? What's the purpose of going? So anyway, to answer your question, that's certainly why I see that trend happening and continuing to grow and only getting better, by the way. The interesting thing is seeing how traditional brick and mortar retailers are adjusting to this. And to your point, what's the value of going to a store? Why should I go to a store? And now you're starting to see the marriage or the link up of the digital components or the online components with the brick and mortar components. So the classic example of that, which is working really well, is order online, pick up in store. And that's obviously been, a tremendous, great thing. There's the immediacy factor too. I'll use Home Depot as an example. If I'm doing home improvements and it's a Saturday, I want to place my order today, get my order today so I can finish the work today. And order online, pick up in store affords that. And it's something we've been doing for quite some time as well at Shop.com.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about sort of the digital equivalent of the shopping mall marketplaces and Shop.com in particular. Can you talk a little bit about the growth in online marketplaces and what that's meant to shopping malls from the physical perspective?
Sure. In a sense, the digital marketplace or the online marketplace is the digital equivalent of the brick and mortar mall in the sense that you've got all these different things. But of course, you've got a much bigger selection of stores and sellers and a much bigger selection of products. And I think that's why it works. So, for example, we've been growing the Shop.com marketplace quite a bit over the last couple of years for a number of reasons. Some of them are strategic and tactical from our perspective. Some of them are strategic and tactical and beneficial from the consumer perspective. And we obviously try to marry those two things up. Things like that we get to be the seller. We're the merchant of record. So our customers are not dealing with the thousands of merchants and sellers that we deal with. They're dealing with us because we are dealing, for the most part, these marketplace arrangements are drop shipper type arrangements. For the most part, we're dealing directly with them. So we're able to pass along better pricing to our customers. We're able to pass along better shipping terms to our customers, better return policies to our customers. And one of our differentiators, one of our key things is cash back. We're able to pass along better cash back or a higher value of cash back for that purchase. But I think what it really comes down to is that online marketplaces provide consumers with everything they need in a one-stop shopping experience. It's that simple. So you can go to a marketplace and you can buy stuff for the refrigerator, stuff for the kitchen, stuff for the home, stuff for your kids, stuff for summer camp, stuff for the picnic, stuff for the beach, stuff for your closet. Think about it. It's stuff for your car, stuff for your kids when they're going to school. It doesn't end. And that one-stop shopping is awesome. And then with loyalty programs on these sites, for example, ours is cash back, others provide loyalty rewards points, etc. You accumulate, you kind of get rewarded for doing that volume shopping there. And then, of course, you can double dip if you use a credit card that has a rewards program as well. You earn points off of that as well.
Yeah, and with the first couple of questions, we've kind of been looking at it more from a macro sense and kind of the transition from online or offline to online and specific to marketplaces. I'm curious then, and you touched on a little bit, what Shop.com is doing in particular to win over those consumers that may have traditionally in the past preferred to shop in store. You mentioned some of the things you're doing around loyalty and shipping and just your breadth of product. What are some of the particulars around winning over those customers that may have, like I said, preferred to shop in store?
So this is kind of speaking to the core, not just of what we do at Shop.com, but I think any e-commerce company has to look at it like this. The cashback value proposition that we offer, we essentially pay our consumers to shop, and it sets us apart from other marketplaces because you don't see that a lot. So you get paid, or you get paid to do shopping, or you earn when you shop. We have the concept of a shop consultant, which I think is something that is a real unique feature that we have. We're reading a lot now about the trend to use bots and chat bots and things like that to provide some type of in-your-face customer service in real time while someone's on the site. Well, we offer shop consultants. We offer literally a human being, and it's not something that we outsource to a call center somewhere else in the world. We have just the way that our company is structured. We put real human beings that are in there to help a shopper navigate our site, find products that they're looking for, help them compare prices, help them make recommendations on whatever they can make their shopping experience easier, help them understand features of the site, value propositions of the site, etc. So that's a huge differentiator, is we literally provide a human being, a personal shopper / shop consultant for the experience. We have, e-gifts. So the ability, Joe, it's your birthday today. I forgot to send you a gift. I can literally go online right now, make a purchase, and send you an e-gift via email with immediacy. That's pretty cool. We have an e-gift card center. So similar concept there is I can go, and if I'm going to go to Chili's tonight, or if I'm going to go to Home Depot this weekend, I can go and buy a gift card, usually at a discount, earn cash back on it as well. So there's great benefits from that. And it goes on and on and on. We have a product called Shop Buddy, which is literally an add-on or a browser extension that while you're shopping shows you every deal on the site that you're on and make sure that you get the best deals on that site. So you might be shopping totally, on your own. You might be doing a search on a search engine, or you might just go to a site and not realize that the product you're looking for has 20% off and free shipping. And we have this tool that will alert you and basically not let you check out, or not, I shouldn't say that, but will, before you check out, put messages in front of you that will let you know that there's a deal waiting in front of you. And that will also let you earn cash back on Shop.com. So that's a big one for us. And then we kind of have this kind of overall concept of our program called the shopping annuity, which is the concept of converting your spending into earning. And what we do is we work with people who you and I and everybody else who make everyday purchases, the regulars, toilet paper, paper towels, water, soap, detergent, laundry detergent, shampoo, all the stuff that you buy, every dog food. And if you do it through a program where you're earning rewards points, in our case, cash back, et cetera, you really can kind of create an economic paradigm, and that's something that we have been working on for quite some time, is getting hundreds of thousands of shoppers to convert their spending into earning by kind of centralizing their buying through shop.com.
I want to get back to a little bit. You mentioned sort of that personal shopping aspect that you offer at shop.com. Obviously, you have a tremendous amount of traffic coming to the site. How do you go about collecting the data on your customers and getting to know them so that you're able to then provide that value-added service of kind of that personalized shopper?
So the personalized shopper does not get the big brother type of data insights into the customer. It's really more that they get notified that they're, so if a new customer comes in and gets assigned to a shop consultant, the shop consultant is made aware of that, and then the shop consultant can then be as proactive or do nothing in that case. They can reach out and say, "Hi, Joe, this is Peter. I'm your shop consultant. There's a product that you've got to know about, or on your first purchase, I'm willing to give you 20% off, and I'm personally going to deliver it to your house because I see that you live within the same town, and I'll introduce myself, etc." Or I might do nothing. But the point is, we are not. Those shop consultants are not corporate employees. It's a network of independent consultants that we work with that are part of our parent company. They're independent distributors of our parent company. So it's a little bit different. We're not giving them the same insights that we have at corporate into buyer journeys, customer profiles, segmentation, digital body language, purchase history, things like that.
Gotcha. And then I kind of have a two-part question for my last one here, Peter. I want to kind of get into a little bit about what you feel are the key factors as we continue to see e-commerce grow to sustain that growth going forward as an industry. And then the second part of that, what are the focal points for shop.com as it looks to continue to grow? Is it mobile? Is it just continuing to personalize that experience for your customers online? So kind of first tackle the industry perspective, and then specific to what you're working on at shop.com.
Sure. So e-commerce will continue to grow as an industry going forward. There's no doubt about it. The numbers about mobile and tablet usage are staggering in terms of how much people are not only using them as opposed to desktop, laptop, but also if you think about how our smartphones have really become, let's face it, it's the remote control of our lives, really, right? It's not just something to make and receive phone calls and send text messages. We control our lives off of our cell phones now and through apps. So with the continuing adoption and growth and utility of mobile, of tablets, desktop shopping, I think the omni-channel opportunities to shop that we've talked about earlier, letting customers shop when they want and how they want is great. Personalization has certainly been a huge topic. And the end goal of personalization obviously is conversion from the brand perspective. But the corollary on the consumer side is that you're looking to provide such a, the holy grail, the holy trinity for a digital marketer is you want to be timely, relevant, and contextual. And personalization, if you can nail those three things, if you can get the right message in front of the right person and be timely, relevant, and contextual to them, you provide tremendous value to them. So that's why you get the conversion, and ultimately it's a successful program, but you're providing a better experience to the customer. And I think that's part of it too, is just like in the old days, you'd walk into your general store on Main Street and you'd walk in and the owner, Bill, would say, "Hey, Jim, good to see you. How's Peggy doing?" You don't really have that equivalent in online. It is a kind of cold and impersonal medium. And what we've seen is through personalization technologies, marketing technologies, big data, data connectors, et cetera, is personalization is kind of the digital equivalent to that. It may not be saying, hey, Bob or Jim, how's Peggy doing? But it's saying, hey, Peter, we know that you're a man. We know that you don't want to see ads or product features for lipstick or for women's shoes or for kids stuff. And we know a little bit about you, and we're going to give you an experience that's relevant to what we know about you. And the more digital body language you exhibit to us, the more that you search, the more that you click, the more that you browse, the more that you purchase, the more that we know about you, the more that we can serve you a relevant experience. As a result of that, it just becomes more and more and more compelling. It's only getting better. E-commerce and brands are only getting better and only evolving. And I'm thrilled with, in the last 5 years in particular, the growth of marketing technology that has greatly empowered, self-empowered digital marketing teams to do things on their own without the involvement of IT. And just how many brands have evolved and really embraced the concept that, for many years, I talked about before that e-commerce has certainly been around for 20 plus years, but I think really only the last 10 years have people really been taking it seriously. And now you can start talking about what percentage of your spending you're doing online. Most people can rattle it right off. It's 10% or less, it's about 50%, or it's mainly online, and kind of falls into those categories. So and the other thing is, and I don't really mean to say this in a negative way, but brick and mortar shopping has really become lackluster. I remember as a kid going to the mall. Malls were beautiful. The stores were beautiful. You were excited to go. There was an energy and a vibe. And the last few times I've been to those types of malls, they're kind of sad and depressing. They don't have the same energy, et cetera. There's a lot of, brand companies that have gone out of business. So, I think that's part of it too. And, let's also face it, there are, there's a generation of digital natives growing up right now that will be the majority of shoppers very soon. I have a 13-year-old son. My son only knows digital. He doesn't know, and there's a whole generation of people growing up who are going to look at the world like that. And it's not even a matter of being early adopters. This is what they know. This is the generation that will use wearables and, do something on their phone to make a purchase. Sorry, not on their phone, on their wristwatch. I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah. I'm curious then, you kind of discussed, from an industry perspective, then, are those same things translate to what you're trying to get done at shop.com?
100%. We've invested heavily into being a mobile-centric company, not just mobile first, but being responsive, making sure that when we design things, we're designing them. We used to design for the big screen and have it kind of be responsive to the small screen, which didn't always provide the best customer experience. We are now designing things for the small screen and having them be responsive to the bigger screen. So things like being able to do a one-click checkout with your thumb on a cell phone is something that we focus on. Things like that. We focus on the mom in a carpool lane picking her kids up at school who has moments to read an email, click, and we want to make those experiences really fun, really easy.
Great. Well, then some really interesting thoughts in this discussion here. I want to thank Peter Gold of shop.com for his time. Please check out our podcast channel page, mytotalretail.com/podcast for show notes. Total Retail Talks is available on iTunes and Stitcher, but make sure to subscribe on our podcast channel page as well. Lastly, please follow us on Twitter at MyTotalRetail or on Facebook at facebook.com/MyTotalRetail. Thanks, and I look forward to you joining us on the next episode of Total Retail Talks.